How you doing? Guildmaster Kent here, and we're going to look at something I'm not too familiar with, but I'm going to do the best I can. Um, this is not my forte, okay? I wish I had somebody else on staff that could do this, because they know more about this than I do, but I'm going to do my best. Um, we're going to talk about monsters. Now, there are a lot to cover in monsters. Um, Basically, I'm going to cover what I can um, in the space of about 30 minutes. So, as you do monsters, you have your different areas: level 1 to 20, level 21 to 40, level 41 to 80, on up to 300 plus. Um, when you start getting up to your 300 plus monsters, uh, you need to be very careful and make sure you have what you need. Um, as you battle monsters 1 to about up to level 80, they're not so hard, and you don't get much other than rewards until you get up to the sea serpents. Now, there's 4 different sea serpents. There's the and this, as we do them, there's the emerald sea serpent, there's the safari sea serpent, and there's the amethyst sea serpent, and then there's one more, okay, and he is the hardest one to get, okay, and unless you're really high on energy and stamina, you won't get this one alone. This is the ancient sea serpent. Now, the reason why I mention these is because they give you Atlantis. Atlantis is just, I didn't cover that in Quest because it's a separate issue. Atlantis is a separate one all by itself. It doesn't have to do with the quest, the demi quests, or the other quests. And I recommend that before you do this, that you have all your quests done before you take on Atlantis. Now, as I said, the ancient sea serpent is extremely hard to do. It's hard to hit. Once you get to the level 40 to 80, you come in to Kira. Now, Kira is a really interesting one. I like Kira, actually. She has some unique stuff about her. I have her on a couple of mine, and she's a very strong warrior. I'm using her as a warrior, and I like the way she battles. I really do. She's got some really nice bonuses once you get the one to do her right. And I recommend that if you have Kira, that you align her with what I have her aligned with, because it's the best, and I'm going to tell you why here in a second. Sugar plums. I don't have her on this one. Yes, I do. There she is. Okay, good. All right, so I have Kira, or Akira, and I have her aligned with Celesta. Okay, now Celesta is the one that you get for battles when you first start with the Orc King. And I have her at level 33. And her defense when attacked is 223. And her player defense is plus 24. So whatever I have on that player defense is plus 24 on top of that. And then I have Saphira in with her, but that's not where she's going to stay. I just have her there because she's only there as a standstill. Because the next person I get is your favor generals, and you want to align Kara with this one, and that is Vanathan. Okay, because he's a balanced general as well as Kira. Now, see, Kira, as I said, has some unique bonuses herself. And her alone, okay, at level 8, when attacked, is plus 34 when defending. So she's a very cool warrior. Okay, my alliance stance right now is at 52. My current stats is plus 55 to attack and plus 59 to defense. Now you have to remember, she's only at level 8. So when she gets up to level 33 and 40, man, she's going to be a kick butt kind of woman, you know? I love those kind of women. So you get bosses, and with your bosses, it's very important that you do this, and get, I would say, get Kira as quick as you can, because she has some awesome stats, man. She really does. And that's up to level 80 for monsters. Now each monster has its unique ability and stuff like that, but these ones down here, from level 81 down, okay, they don't do much for you. The only ones that are really any good are the sea serpents, and you need all those 4, and you need the pieces of map to be able to do that. Now Lotus, I like her, but I wish I could get her. But you can get her through the chest rolls, and that's, roll of the dice to see if you get her. The other one that I like is Defend the Castle. This is very unique, and it's a very good guild training situation because you learn how to attack others. Okay, I like the Defend the Castle. It is one of my favorites, and if you can get the Phantoms, which we have now, I suggest that you get them as soon as you can because they give us some awesome stuff away. Then the next one that I really like is War on the Red Plains, and this is where you battle other characters in the game. So you actually battle 1-to-1 on your invade and your duels. So I like this because it strengthens mine. Now before you get into this, I recommend that you have good ruins on your characters and stuff like that. Now some of the rest on level 121 to 200 are not bad, but they don't do much for you. I mean, once you start getting up into the Lion's Rebellion, that gets good stuff, and the crevices and the Valhalla air element. Now that's some good stuff there because you get the wind element, and that helps when you're building later on, and I'll get into that later on different builds and how to build and on what to build and stuff like this. And then Jathana, she's a really good one. Aurora's another really good one. The Mountain Giant and the Frost Giant, I do those myself. I don't even need the guild to do them. When you get into Kersan, that's a little more defining. And Ambrosia, she's extremely hard. I wouldn't recommend that you get into her without having a guild behind you because it takes a lot to get it done. Now, my favorite ones are the 300 ones plus because these are the juicy, yummy ones that I love to do. Okay? Cro-Magnus, he's all defensive. All defensive stuff from him. Valargus, he's all fire stuff. So, and then Wrath of Legendary Simon, he's really good stuff too. And Megara, the Overseer, is another good one. Alexander's another good one. Now, when you get into Cronus Athlorn, okay, do not even attempt this without a monster guild behind you. Okay, because when you do these, you have to have everybody on them. You really do. And you need to do the sieges. The ones before this are not so important to do the sieges because I can pretty much do them all myself. You know, from the lower levels down. You know, I mean, on Kira alone, I only take 4 hits with mine. So it's very simple. I mean, and I only have 1,000 attack and stamina. So that tells you, you know, how easy they are to do. But these ones up here, these divine monsters, these are really difficult. But they are really a challenge. And there are some really cool stuff that are given with these. And like with Cronus Athlorn, you have the fire, the earth, and the ice, and the wind. So you have 4 heads that you have to kill. Now each one of those gives essentials. So it helps build when you do your ruins. So it's very important that when you do these, it is strategically planned. Okay? Sassorn Reborn, he is extremely hard to beat. And if you do not have heavy piercing on your weapons, don't even attempt this because it's just bouncing off him. Okay, now if you want a divine monster that's not so hard to do and kind of easy to do, the Leviathans of the Deep, the Leviathans of the Grove, and the Leviathans of the Vand, and Leviathan of the Wrath. They are really good to do, and they don't give too bad of equipment, okay? So it helps. But, you know, the best equipment that you can get is from the Flame Dragon, as I said. And, you know, he's the best because his attack is... the attack of him is, 80. And 80 defense and 100 attack. So it's extremely wonderful to get him. It really is. And you need to make sure that you get him. Now, Alpha Bahama, okay, he's good, but he's just more for the Vulcan Knights, and they are good to have. Arizon, the Angel of Wrath. Now, she is really good. She's hard to beat, but if you have a good guild behind you, you can do it. Alpha Methophilus, he's hard to beat, but he's not so difficult. Magnus, the lava giant, I do him myself. Terpandus, he's okay. Malachus, I wouldn't do him without having a guild behind you. Alpha Kassan, don't even attempt this unless you have piercing. Arizona is the same thing. Valimor is the same thing. The Phoenix is the same thing. Kassan, the undead, is the same thing. Olmec, protector of the Gila, is the same thing. Poseidon is the same thing. If you don't have piercing, don't even attempt these, because you're just going to bounce off them, and it's just going to be frustrating, and you're not going to get anything done. Vorda the Destroyer of Skies. This is an awesome battle, okay? And it's super, super long. You need to use all weapons, okay, to defeat this guy, because he's extremely hard to beat. Ancient Slime, he's not so bad, okay? Bella, the Stellar of Souls, he's tough, but if you have a good guild behind you, you can do it easily. Lord of Darkness, he's another one that if you have a good guild behind you, you can do it really well. Zavark, the Millipede, he's tough, but he has different 4 different spots to hit, so he's a little tough to do, but I recommend that you don't do them without having a good guild behind you, because Latharnan, the Corrupted, don't even go there without a guild behind you, because you're just going to lose it. Okay? Althorn, the Corrupted, again, don't do it without a guild behind you. Aspect of Death, okay, that's another one. Don't do it without a guild behind you. When you get up into these 300 monsters, your best way to do them is with a guild, and have certain ones be warriors and certain ones be rangers, and so that you can build up and get your cripple up, because you need to keep crippling them. You need to keep stopping them from healing themselves, and by crippling them you do that. Okay, the rat horde, they're so a little hard to do, but as I said, if you have a good guild behind you, you can do them. And Cassandra, now this takes a knack. Okay, she is extremely hard to beat. Okay, extraordinarily wonderful stuff, but extremely hard to beat. And then you get into the divine monsters, and I can't even begin to remember how many of them there is. But, once you get into those divine monsters, man, oh man, I'm telling you, you get some really good stuff. If you get on those divine monsters, man, I suggest you do it, because it's just phenomenal, man. It's super. Well, that's my take on monsters. When next we come back, we'll look at heroes and alliances and generals, and I'll talk about the different generals and what the bonuses are for them and stuff like that. So that's where we stand right now, and we will talk again soon. Bye.